I've always known that I wanted to work with relationships, romantic relationships. And what I'm finding in almost my 20 years of being in practice is that lots of romance is missing. You know, people can have the most amazing relationships and they can feel so emotionally connected to their partners, but the physical isn't there for so many people. Or they worry that it won't be there forever, or they've been betrayed, or there's been affairs, or there've been threats, or they've had thoughts of straying. And so I have always wanted to help people to really have the physical intimacy be a long-lasting, stable part of their relationship, so as to support the emotional side that they've worked so hard to create. And it's about maintaining it. So yeah, that's what I work on a daily basis. I'm also an expert on TV. I do lots of kind of consultation with that. And I'm also a part of a major network's relationship show, and it's a reality series called Married at First Sight. Yes, I am. I'm not just an expert on TV. I do have my licensure as a marriage and family therapist in 3 states. I have my private practice. I'm a certified sex therapist, and I have my doctorate in marriage and family therapy. So this is what I do. And I happen to have platforms all over that help me to share the information that I've gleaned over almost 20 years of practicing. So yeah, I guess I am the real deal. Yes, I actually have a private practice. So I see clients almost daily. And yes, it's wonderful to be able to see them virtually. So I see clients from all over the place, but I am licensed as a marriage and family therapist in Texas, California, and New York. So the majority of my clients that I see for psychotherapy are all in those states, and I'm able to travel to see them. I have a lot of high profile clients that require either immediate help or require it to be in the kind of the privacy of their own homes. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to accommodate that. No, I can't say that I ever thought that I would be, kind of a national expert on the subject, at least not publicly. Like I thought I would do my thing and people would come to see me and find me and I'd be able to help them. But now with the platform of being kind of at this point nationally known, internationally, with TV and with all the articles and interviews and all of that, I just think it's really, really fun. It keeps things light and fun for me. It also keeps me on my toes. Like I need to be able to be in the know. And I need to create strategies that help other people and techniques and methods that reach other people. So it keeps me on my toes for sure. This book came about because my clients were frustrated. Like I've been seeing clients for almost 20 years and I have observed a lot of sexual frustration. Couples who are doing amazing otherwise, who everything is going well. They love their lives. They love their lifestyles. They love their families that they're growing, but they just can't really seem to get the physical intimacy on track. And so, yeah, I had a lot of observation to pull from, and then I decided to get really methodical about trying to figure out the categories. What are the motivators? What keeps people interested in their sex lives? Monogamy is difficult. For a lot of people, it is extremely difficult. And for some, on a daily basis, they struggle with monogamy and being sexually committed to one person forever. So I wanted to see how I could help. Like I am a helper. I wanted to help. So that's where the 4 intimacy styles came from. It was just a lot of frustration, both from my clients. And then also, I would get a lot of people who would come in and say, we've read the 5 love languages. We love it. I'm like, okay, good. Yes, because it's great. But then what about sex? What about the sexual stuff? Like, okay, we've got our emotional connection. We feel loved, but what about sex? And I was like, yeah, what about sex? We got to figure that out. And so hence the 4 intimacy styles. Yes, of course. I'm a huge believer in the 5 love languages. I have been recommending it to my clients forever. You know, it came out in 1992. So for something that's 30 years old, it is holding on strong. And I love that. I would love for the 4 intimacy styles to also be very helpful. You know, I kind of tell my clients, look to the 5 love languages for emotional intimacy, and then look for the 4 intimacy styles for physical intimacy. And then hopefully those two are a nice little marriage. But yeah, I love it. I think it's extremely helpful for everyone. First of all, it's flattering that the 4 intimacy styles comes up when people are talking about the 5 love languages. Let me just put that out there. But I think what's great about the 5 love languages is it's a great start. Emotional intimacy is so important. Feeling loved, I mean, that's a really great starting off point, a jumping off point. But as so many of my clients and people who reach out to me on a daily basis ask, what about the sex? But what about sex? So that's where I said, you know what? Let me tell you about the sex and what you can do to create that physical intimacy alongside the importance of the emotional intimacy. So this isn't always about what you're doing in the bedroom. No. This is about empowering you, especially women. I want to empower you to take the lead in your sex life, to take the lead in your sensual journey. And don't always lean on your partner. Women's empowerment includes family empowerment. And how better to ensure that your family is strong than to have physical intimacy that is lasting, that is satisfying. You know, that is the empowerment that the 4 intimacy styles calls for. You know, I don't want to ever be burnt out on what I do. So I love the variety of not just being able to see people across from me on the couch. I love virtual counseling. So I'm able to see clients from all over the world. And I'm so fortunate that people have heard about me from all over the place. Lots of referrals. I get people who are like, oh, you know, you should talk to this person. You should talk to this person. So I value that so much, the ability to help people from all over. I also really like that with the book, I'm able to reach people that I'll never be able to talk to or see, whether it's online or in office. So I have really high hopes that this book will get to the people who need it. And they can find it on my website, drviviana.com. That's where it will live. So yeah, it's really exciting to be able to talk to lots of people and have that variety. It's not just for them. Like, I wish I could say it, I just want to be there for everyone. No, it's mainly to help me because I love variety. It keeps things new. It keeps things fresh. You know, novelty is really important, not just in sex, but in your professional life and in your personal life. So I love that this is all happening. Who is this book for? Well, I'll tell you what, it's not for everyone. The 4 Intimacy Styles book is not for everyone. I know it's kind of weird to say that when I'm promoting a book, but if you are totally content with your sexless relationship, if things are flowing smoothly for you and you don't think that that will ever change and you're happy, then maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you gift it to someone else. Because if you bring this book into your relationship, if you read this book, it's going to call for change. It's going to call for vigilance. It's going to call for action. So, yeah, it's not for everyone, but if you are looking for something to help you, help guide you, a place to start, a place to finish, because it does have lots of activities. That's one thing that I absolutely wanted, is for people to have takeaways, not just food for thought here. Then this is for you. Look, a lot of this is about, just very real talk. It's about easing guilt. I know so many people who are in long-lasting monogamous relationships who know that there should be more, who know that they're disappointing their partners, who are disappointing themselves. They never thought that they would get into a sexless relationship, and here they are years later struggling to find the energy to even kiss deeply. So the other thing about getting this book and kind of letting it guide you and seeing where it goes is that it can ease some of that guilt. Well, yeah, I think we all want to feel like our partners are willing to do whatever it takes to keep us. So if picking up this book is one of the only things you've ever done to really work on keeping your physical intimacy alive, well, okay, it's something. Yeah, I think it shows your partner that you are willing to try and that it's important to you and that it's on your mind. A lot of people wonder how their partner, or if their partner even thinks about their physical disconnection. And so having this book, reading it, possibly even giving your partner their own copy, I feel like all of that shows a willingness, a commitment to at least trying and to working on things. What makes my book different? So I haven't read every single book that's out there. I mean, not even all the self-help books. There are so many that are churned out every single day from all sorts of sources. So I can't say that I know exactly how this is different, but I can tell you why it's special. I think that my dedication and focus on intimacy matters in general is what's really allowing me to create something that will, pun intended, penetrate your relationship in a really great way. And it will almost like reinvigorate or reinfuse your relationship with hope. Physical intimacy doesn't come naturally for a lot of people, and it certainly doesn't stick around easily. So being able to give you a manual, a guide, a structure to help you to maintain physical intimacy where you've had it or to create it where it hasn't been. That to me, I find that invaluable. I find it really special. I also think that my way of getting the information to you, I've been told I'm very approachable, that my clients really like the fact that I'm direct, but I'm also very kind and I don't rush people. But this book, I feel like it kind of embodies the way that I work with my clients. So that's what makes it special. Where do I hope the 4 intimacy styles will be in 10 years? So I hope people are talking about it every day. I hope that it's something that just kind of goes into their everyday language. They talk about rounding out their intimacy styles and how it's helped them to have these profound physical and emotionally intimate relationships. And I hope that it helps people to feel more confident in their ability to be with someone forever. I think that we put a lot of investment, both, seen and unseen, into our committed relationships. And I hope that people at that time, 10 years from now, are talking about how the 4 intimacy styles has helped them to. I think people should start with taking the quiz online. Find out what percentage you are of each of the 4 intimacy styles and see how close you are to being rounded out or how far away you are. And, either way, I do think that the book is going to be a great companion for everyone to be able to then really figure out how to create systems in your relationships that allow for physical intimacy to be there forever. I just feel really badly for people who didn't have any sort of sexual guidance or sensual guidance growing up, who maybe don't believe in therapy, who wouldn't reach out to someone like me for help and are kind of going it alone. Okay, read the book. It's private. You can take the dust jacket off and it's just black with the name on it. It's not like me sitting on it. So yeah, and I just say read it and see if anything comes of it. Share it with others. Don't share it with others. Share it with your partner. At the very least, share it with me. Send me your feedback. I want to know, and hopefully it'll be something that is a really valuable tool to have.